Take that!
I shudder to think that this is the kind of behavior Lamont encourages in his employees.
Sorry, sir.
But I'm famished. Are the rest of the guests in the dining room?
I don't know, sir.
Well, where are they?
I don't know, sir.
Why don't you start betting your salary and go find them?
Beg your pardon, sir?
Find them and run! Before dinner evaporates, I'll be in the dining room.
I'm sorry, sir. Mr. Jordan has very strict orders not to see anyone till he comes down. He's kind of funny that way.
It's not very funny at all.
Please, sir, Max just went upstairs to get the other guests. They'll be down shortly. So if you just please be so kind.
God! You are lucky I'm in a good mood.
Tell me about it!
So can we eat yet?
No.
No.
Why not?
Because Lamont's not here yet.
Because Lamont's not here.
Well, where is he?
He's upstairs.
He's upstairs.
Stop it!
Stop it. Stop what?
Stop what? Stop repeating me!
Stop repeating you. I'm not repeating
Oh, yes, you are.
Yes, you
What
are.
am I doing?
Doing what?
Repeating me.
I am not.
You just did. No, she didn't. Yes, she did.
When?
When?
Now you're
Oh,
doing
doing what?
Repeating me?
I am not.
Yes, you are.
When did I?
Just now.
She's right now.
Oh, whose side are you on?
Hers.
Yeah, so there.
Yeah, so there.
Don't you start repeating me.
Me?
No, me.
Stop this idle bantering. It's giving me a headache.
Well, we can start the party. I'm here.
Oh, joy.
Can we eat yet?
No,
Why not?
because Lamont's not here yet.
Because Lamont's not here.
Shut up!
Now shut up.
Don't you start repeating me.
No dinner yet, huh?
There's some hors d'oeuvres in the kitchen, sir.
For what?
Hors d'oeuvres.
What's that?
Cheese whiz on Ritz.
Sorry to keep everyone waiting. Just don't let it happen again. Why are we all in here? Can't we eat yet?
No,
Why not?
because Lamont's not here yet. No, stop it right now! Stop it! Stop it! Stop! Do you hear?
What did he do?
Oh, he keeps persisting in childish games, repeating every word I say and irritating me in the process.
Oh, that's the point.
I'm so sick to death of it. I'm tired of everyone here. I've tried to the best of my abilities to remain reticent in these insane surroundings, but it seems that my stamina has been overpowered by forces of idiocy beyond my control.
Eddie, you know what I think your problem is?
This should be interesting. Please enlighten me.
You are too tense, man. You gotta relax.
Oh, really? And to what do you surmise the root of my discomfort?
What?
Well, let's examine the evidence, shall we? Well, first we have the nosy gossip columnist, a compulsive typist with an unpleasant disposition towards every living creature in the cosmos. Next, the promiscuous politician's wife, a thoroughly inebriated woman who wouldn't know a decent piece of music if it came up, introduce itself, and then properly bit her on the bum. Yes, and let's not forget our masochistic athlete, a man with unique distinction of being the only person alive who can announce his presence 5 minutes before he enters a room simply by raising his armpits. Yes, of course, our 2 moronic manservants. Why, a pair of socially retarded baboons whose adolescent behavior this past week forces one to wonder whether the third student has been hiding himself. Why, add all these things together with a pinch of salt, stir briskly, and what do we have? Well, I'll tell you. A man who is at his wit's end. A man who has been forced to endure the innumerable shortcomings of the people around him. Well, without further ado, I would like to introduce you that very man. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Sir Edward Montague Montgomery. Thank you. Thank you all. Why, this is indeed the greatest pleasure for me since Her Majesty herself married me 7 years ago. I would just like to say this time that I deeply thank God responsible for the common goal of the loss of my sanity. It was indeed a pleasure to be the recipient of so much anger, aggression, and utter stupidity. But after all, that's why I'm here now. If you'll excuse me, I'm off to the kitchen to fetch some aspirin as my headache has grown unbearable. Good evening.
See what I mean?
I really wish Lamont would hurry up so we could eat.
Oh, there's some hors d'oeuvres in the kitchen.
Some what?
Hors d'oeuvres.
Whatever.
Sorry we took so long. Is everyone in the dining room?
No, ma'am, they're in the kitchen eating hors d'oeuvres. You can join them if you like.
No, no, thank you. We'll just wait for Lamont.
Very well, ma'am!
Actually, I don't think I can eat dinner tonight. My stomach is all in knots. I guess I'm just too Daddy wouldn't miss this.
Oh, don't be too sure. He almost missed our wedding. I will never forget that day. I had on the most beautiful white gown that your grandmother made. You should have seen your father. He was so hungover he could barely stand up. By the time he got around to saying I do, nobody cared. And then we had to go to Mexico for the honeymoon. Oh my goodness, I should have never gone to Mexico with your father. The minute we got there, it was tequila this and tequila that. I wanted to go to Paris, the city of love. But your father said he wouldn't go anywhere where they ate escargot à la carte avec the sauce de beurre. Well, such is life. All a part of being in love. I've had my trials and tribulations, and I have no regrets. These past 28 years have been magical, magical indeed. That is a very good word for it, because lately our sex life has just poof, disappeared. But I wouldn't give up any of it for anything, and now you are going to marry that nice Lamont. Oh, my dear, it was so romantic the way that you two met. I thought it was like a fairy tale when he asked you to dance at the Prime Minister's ball. Oh, it was so lovely. I almost fainted. I did. And now you are going to marry Lamont Cranston. Ellen Cranston. Louis Jourdan. Lamont Jourdan! Don't go to Mexico for your honeymoon.
Right. Mom, listen, there's something I need to tell you.
Well, if it's about the wedding, it can just wait. No, Lamont told me upstairs that you were having second thoughts, and he asked me to come down here and to talk to you, and to assure you, and to knock some sense into you.
But Mom,
No, don't but Mom me, please. We have just put in too much time, too much effort to cancel now. Oh, it'll be all right, you'll see. Everything is going to be wonderful after the wedding. I know what you're going through. I went through the same thing myself, but afterwards it all fell into place. And you will see I am right.
I doubt that.
That's enough, Nancy.
Is Mr. Jordan not down yet?
No, I don't know where he is.
Odd. Mr. Jordan!
Uncle Frank! I couldn't find any of them.
Who?
The other guests.
Of course not. They're in the kitchen.
Well, what are they doing in the kitchen?
Eating hors d'oeuvres. Mr. Jordan!
Ah, Max, there you are. Where have you been all this time?
I was upstairs and I'm looking for the other guests.
Well, did you find them?
No, sir, I
Did
didn't.
you find them all?
No, sir, I didn't know how to
Never mind, you're obviously too incompetent to handle the simplest task. Bruce, I demand that you march right upstairs and put an end to all this infernal waiting, eh? Retrieve our gracious host, will you?
Jawohl, mein Kommandant!
What's the matter?
Oh, jeez, lady, isn't it obvious? I mean, I call for the guy twice and there's no answer, so I go upstairs and I come back down 2 minutes later looking like I heaved a Havana in my shorts and you can't tell? I mean, I try to put on a convincing performance, but, you know, I suppose something like this would happen.
What happened?
Oh, it's nothing. It's just Mr. Jordan. He's dead.
Does this mean there's no dinner?
My name is Detective Joe Caton, and this is my assistant, Alan Daniels. Hey. We specialize in kidnappings, car thefts, robberies, parking violations, and homicides. As part of standard procedure, I'm going to have to question each one of you individually, one at a time, to get to the bottom of things here. You got all the names, Daniels?
Yes, sir.
You know, before we get started, would anybody like to confess? No takers? Okay, fair enough. Why don't we start with you, Mr.
Martian.
Okay.
How come I gotta go first?
All right, how about you, Mrs.?
Ms.
Ms.
Flanders,
Okay.
why do I have to go first?
Well, why not?
I don't want to go first.
You know, it's not like you're getting your teeth pulled or anything. It's just a series of routine questions so we get to the bottom of things here. It's really quite harmless.
All right.
Okay. Now, if I could have everybody else please leave the room and wait in the kitchen. Not you, Daniels.
Okay, shoot.
Well, that won't be necessary. Now then, Miss Flanders.
Flanders,
Whatever. What is the occasion of this little weekend get-together?
we were all here for Lamont Jordan's wedding.
And this wedding was to be when?
Saturday.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a columnist for Hollywood Truth magazine.
Hey, no kidding. Is it true about Sean Penn having...
Hey, stand it, please.
Sorry, sir.
Did you have any hostilities towards the late Lamont Jordan?
No, why would I didn't even know him before this week.
Also, you weren't previously associated with Mr. Jordan?
No, I only associate with the rich and famous people.
Well, judging from the size of this house, I'd say Mr. Jordan was pretty rich.
But hardly worth socializing with.
Oh, what makes you say that?
Lamont was apparently not known for his charm.
What do you mean?
The guy was a creep. Everybody hated him.
If you weren't previously associated with Mr. Jordan or anyone else here, then why are you here?
I was invited to cover the story for my magazine.
And who exactly invited you?
I'm not sure. The note was anonymous. I can only assume it was from Mr. Jordan.
Is there anything else you can tell us?
No, not really. But there is something,
What is it?
Earlier, Sir Edward said to Chris Marshall and myself that he was going to do everything in his power to stop the wedding.
Did he say why?
Like I said, everybody hated him, but I think Sir Edward has a thing for the ex-bride-to-be, Nancy Foster.
Well, what makes you say that?
He said he was going to save Nancy from a fate worse than death and put an end to Lamont's wedded bliss. And when Chris asked him when, he said, "You'll see action soon enough."
That it?
One other thing. Earlier, I stumbled onto an argument between Eileen Brooks and Lamont.
Well, do you have any idea what they were arguing about?
I came in just at the tail end of it.
Okay, thanks for your time. Please don't leave the house. We may want to question you again. I think I'd like to talk to the Sir Edward guy.
Yes, sir.
Sir Edward, how do you do? Please have a seat.
Did you kill Lamont Jordan?
Hey, me detective, you assistant, got it?
Yes, Tarzan.
Well, did you?
Did I what?
Kill Lamont Jordan?
Of course not.
Are you sure?
I think I'd know if I killed him or not.
Did you have any reason to?
No.
Well, that's not what I hear.
Well, what did that lying to Whitsley's merchant tell you?
She told me that you were planning to prevent the wedding between Mr. Jordan and Miss Nancy Foster. Is this true?
Well, in a way it is. Lamont was a low-down tyrant, and I didn't want Nancy marrying the likes of him, but that doesn't mean I killed him.
You know Miss Foster?
Yes, we've been acquainted for some time.
What about Mr. Jordan? How long have you known him?
For more years than I care to remember, detective.
How does Miss Foster fit into all this?
Well, I introduced them, although God knows I never meant to. About half a year ago at the Prime Minister's ball, where Nancy and her mother were guests of mine, I knew Lamont would be there as well, but I never anticipated him taking an interest in Nancy. Her mother was immediately impressed by him, and to this day she still believes that he was an angel sent straight from heaven. But you know, sometimes I believe the only reason Lamont ever expressed any interest in Nancy at all was just to spite me.
So, you and Mr. Jordan never really got along too well?
No, but that doesn't mean it.
So you admit that you and he were never on exactly the friendliest of terms?
Yes.
Seems to me that you and he were competing for the affection of Miss Foster. So far, you don't seem to be building a very strong case for yourself.
I have nothing to hide.
Oh, really? Then what is your relationship with Miss Foster?
I'm her guardian.
How do you feel about it?
What do you mean?
What are your feelings towards her?
Well, we're just friends.
Friends?
Yes, friends, that's what I say. Nancy's an innocent young girl who isn't able to spot military repute, and her mother is no help either.
What about her father?
He's away on business all the time, and that's why I look after her.
Is that a self-appointed job, or does Mrs. Foster pay his salary?
Never accept money for my responsibilities, detective.
No need to get excited, Mr. Montgomery. They're just questions.
I don't like your line of inquiry.
Well then, is there anything else you can tell me about the other guests?
Nothing. Except for the fact that they don't belong here.
What do you mean?
Mr. Marshall, Mrs. Landis, and Mrs. Brooks have no strong personal ties to Lamont. It's obvious that he had invited them here for reasons other than just the wedding. And knowing Lamont, I can fairly say that his intentions were less than unpleasant.
Good. Now, can you tell me how Mr. Jordan procured his wealth?
Family inheritance, partly.
And the rest?
Backhanded deals and swindle.
He didn't hold a job.
Oh, the man has never worked an honest day in his life.
Okay. Thank you for your time, Mr. Montgomery.
It's my pleasure, detective.
I think he's hiding something. But for now, I'd like to question the servant. What's his name?
Which one, sir?
There's more than one?
Yes, sir. There's the chauffeur, Max, and the other guy, Bruce.
Which one found the body?
Bruce, sir.
Send him in.
Yes, sir.
Ah, Bruce. How do you do? Please have a seat. In a chair would be fine. Now, Bruce, how long have you known the deceased, Mr. Jordan?
About 4 hours now.
4 hours.
Well, that's how long he's been the deceased.
Now, how long did you know him when he was alive?
Oh, about 6 years.
And you were the one that found the body, right?
Yes, that's right.
Can you describe in detail the events that happened before you found him?
Well, I came into the living room looking for Mr. Jordan, but only Miss Foster and her mother were here.
Where was everyone else?
They were in the kitchen eating hors d'oeuvres, and Max was upstairs looking for them.
Max was upstairs looking for him.
Yeah.
But they were in the kitchen.
Yeah,
Then why was Max upstairs looking for him?
because earlier Schroeder had ordered Max to go upstairs and bring the other guests down for dinner.
But he never found him.
No, they were in the kitchen.
Then why did Sir Edward send him upstairs to look for him?
Because at that time, everyone was upstairs.
But I thought you said they were in the kitchen.
Well, they were. Later.
Wait a minute, hold on. When you came in from the kitchen, the signal had come down yet. Only Miss Foster and her mother were here.
Yes.
And everybody else was in the kitchen.
Yes.
And Max was upstairs looking for him.
Yes!
So Max is the only one that don't have an alibi.
No.
What do you... What?
Well, everyone else was upstairs, too.
I thought you said they was in the kitchen.
Well, they were. Later.
Later. Hold. Let me rephrase this. Who was upstairs after Mr. Jordan was last seen alive?
Oh, everybody at one time or another.
Okay, go on.
Well, Max was upstairs looking for the other guests. They had already come down for dinner. So I had them wait in the kitchen until Mr. Jordan arrived because he had left a very strict order not to see anyone until he came down. So I came in from the kitchen looking for Mr. Jordan, but only Miss Foster and her mother were here.
Okay.
I thought it was rather odd that it would take him so long. So I called for him. Mr. Jordan!
Only guess, no answer, right?
You don't miss a clue, did you?
Then what?
Well, then Max came down saying that he couldn't find the other guest, so I called for him again. Mr. Jordan! Still no answer. Then the other guest came in to the living room, and Sir Edward kindly ordered me to go upstairs and bring Mr. Jordan down for dinner.
So far, so good?
So up I went. When I got upstairs, it was awfully quiet. I called for him again, but no answer. So I went to his bedroom door. The silence was eerie. I knocked twice. No answer. So I knocked again. Still no answer. So
notice it was missing?
No, when I was fixing dinner, I didn't think much of it at the time, though.
Did you see who took the knife?
No.
Is the knife still missing?
No, apparently whoever took it returned it cleaned and unstained as if it were never taken in the first place.
Assuming that the missing knife is the murder weapon, was it returned before or after Mr. Jordan was found, Bruce?
I don't know. I didn't bother to look then.
Is there anything else you can tell us about the scene of the crime? Any clues, perhaps, that we might have overlooked?
Oh, yes. As a matter of fact, I did. I noticed one thing. I noticed there was a white bed sheet near the body.
A white bed sheet.
I admit I didn't think much of it at first, but then I realized it wasn't a bed sheet.
Well, how do you know it wasn't his?
Mr. Jordan never used white bed sheets, only baby blue and pink. I do the laundry, that's how I know.
Do you still have the bed sheet?
Yes, I think it's upstairs.
Do you have any idea who the bed sheet
No,
was?
sir, no.
Is there anything else you can tell us?
Oh, yes. Earlier I noticed that I came in on Mr. Jordan and Mrs. Brooks, and they were arguing over something. He was thrashing her about pretty good.
Do you have any idea what they were arguing
No,
about?
sir.
Is that it?
Yes.
Okay, thanks for your time, Bruce. You've been very helpful, sort of. Please stick around. We may want to question you again.
You betcha.
Well, sir, what do you think?
It's obvious the killer didn't want to be recognized and used a bed sheet as a disguise.
But why would the killer want to use a disguise when the only person who could possibly identify him would be dead anyway?
Good point. Maybe we're barking up the wrong tree on that point. Let's see what the tennis pro, John McEnroe, can tell us.
It's Chris Marshall, sir.
Well, Mr. Marshall, how do you do? Please have a seat.
Thanks.
Now, were you previously associated with Mr. Jordan before this week?
No, I didn't know who he was until this week.
Well, then why are you here?
I was here for the wedding, which was actually kind of weird for me, being invited to somebody's wedding that I didn't even know, but I figured I would just come anyway because I thought maybe he was a fan and it'd be good publicity.
And who exactly invited you?
Mr. Jordan did.
By letter?
Yes.
Did you have any reason to kill Mr. Jordan?
No, why would I want to kill somebody that I didn't know?
Well, I don't know. You tell me. The people I've spoken to with so far said he wasn't a very nice guy. So maybe he might have rubbed you the wrong way, too.
No, he didn't rub me at all. Look, I didn't kill him. But you know something, I think I know who did.
Really? Who?
Bruce.
Bruce. My Bruce.
There you go. You know, when he went upstairs to get Mr. Jordan, he had a knife with him.
Really?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. And when he came down again, that's when he said Jordan was dead.
That's very interesting. You getting all this down?
Yes, sir. Look, I can't tell you much about everybody else here because I don't know, okay? But except Sir Edward, he wanted to break up the wedding. And ruin Lamont.
Yeah, we know. Miss Flynn has mentioned it.
Ender.
Did you hear that?
Your word, sir.
Never mind. Mr. Marshall, do you think it's possible that Sir Edward killed Lamont Jordan?
Yes, sure, very possible, yes. But I don't think he did, really. If you ask me, I think Bruce is here.
Well, we'll definitely take that into consideration. Thank you very much for your time, Mr. Marshall.
No problem.
If you can think of anything else, please let us know.
Tim Ford? Well, any guesses as to who did it?
I can't really say until I've interviewed them all, but the fact that Bruce had a knife with him when he went upstairs to look for Mr. Jordan is very interesting. Perhaps he killed Mr. Jordan, came down, and tell everybody he found him that way.
Gosh.
Which is doubtful, considering that Bruce called twice for him before he went up.
Maybe Mr. Jordan was in the shower.
Right, that's why he's completely dry and fully clothed when they found him.
Sorry.
Who's next?
Well, there's the chauffeur, Max.
He was upstairs shortly before Mr. Jordan was found. Yeah, let's see what he can tell us.
Yes, sir.
not saying you did.
Yes, I know, but you probably know by now that I don't have an alibi.
Well, neither does anybody else. We just want to ask you a few questions, okay?
Okay.
Now, Max, first off, how did Mr. Jordan treat you as an employee?
Fine.
Now, did he ever become angry with you or spank you back on?
No, sir. I didn't think so.
Would you happen to know why Mr. Jordan would write a gossip columnist, a tennis pro, and a politician's wife to his wedding? 3 people whom he wasn't formally acquainted with beforehand?
No, sir, I don't. I'm afraid I made it a point never to be a part in Mr. Jordan's business affair.
Well, you're certain it was business.
Yes, I assume so, sir. It's my job.
Can you tell me what happened when Sir Edward sent you upstairs to look for the other guests?
Yes, sir. I went upstairs to look for the other gates. And while I was there, I found there was no one there. Yes. So then I came back downstairs.
And, where was everyone else?
Well, they were not down here, that's for sure. And when I checked the rooms, I checked Mrs. Brooks' room, you know, and she wasn't in there. Then I checked Mrs. Flanders' room, and she wasn't in there. And then I checked Mr. Marshall's room, and he wasn't in there either.
You didn't happen to see anybody running around up there wearing a bed sheet, did you?
No, sir.
I didn't think so. So you didn't see anyone the entire time he was upstairs?
That's right, sir.
Now, because of the size of the house, is it possible that 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people could run around up there and not run into each other?
So, have you been up there? There are a lot of rooms and hallways up there. I remember one time Bruce took the underwear that my mum gave me for Christmas, and he put it on his head and thought he'd run round and see if anyone
Did you check Mr. Jordan's room at all?
No, sir, I didn't. I wasn't looking for Mr. Jordan. And besides, I didn't know he was still up there.
One last thing, Max. Is there anything else you could tell me about the other guests? Any thing you might have overseen or heard? Any speculations?
But if you're asking me who did it, I think you are. Well, I do have my opinions about that. I think it was Sir Edward, if you ask me.
Sir Edward?
Yes, sir.
Well, I thought he was downstairs when he went up to look for the other guests.
Yes, sir, he was. But when Mr. Jordan went upstairs to change, all of the other guests went upstairs too, including Sir Edward.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thanks for your time, Max. You've been very helpful. You can go.
You don't think I did it, do you?
Not really.
Thank you. You don't think he's telling the truth, do you?
Personally, I don't think he has it in him. Personally, I don't think he has it in him to kill anybody.
Well, maybe that's an act.
Could you work that up, Tyson?
No, I don't think I could.
I didn't think so. Who's left?
Well, there's the politician's wife, Mrs. Brooks. There's the ex-fiancée.
Mrs. Brooks. She's the wife of the politician, isn't she?
Yes, sir.
Send her in there. Mrs. Brooks. How do you do? Please have a seat.
Thank you, but please call me Eileen.
Thank you, Eileen. Now then, what can you tell me about the deceased, Mr. Jordan?
Well, he doesn't move much anymore, and he's not as lively as he used to be.
No. Well, what can you tell me about him when he was alive? I've got to stop using that word.
Well, I didn't know him all that well. I met him at my husband's inaugural party, and we shared a brief exchange of conversation, that was all. But about a month ago, he called me, and he said it would be to my benefit if I were here this week, and naturally, I didn't know what he was talking about, but I thought I'd come anyway, just to see what he wanted.
And what did he want?
Lamont intended to blackmail me with some information that I would do anything to keep secret.
Even kill?
Possibly. But I didn't do it. Someone beat me to it.
Nice rhyme.
But then, it occurred to me that it would be better to hurt him rather than kill him.
Well, what do you mean?
Well, not for my sake, of course, but for his fiancée's. I told Nancy the plain truth about the cat she was about to marry. I would really hate to see a nice girl like that get walked all over by that creep.
And how did she react?
Well, she seems sad. Not nearly as sad as I thought she'd be. Maybe even a little relieved.
Do you think so?
Yes. Personally, I don't think she really wanted to marry him.
Well, what makes you say that?
Oh, woman's intuition, I guess. She apparently confronted Lamont with what I told her because he had a cow and he forcefully pushed me around. He threatened to break my arm and hell, he might have killed me if Bruce hadn't walked in.
Mr. Marshall mentioned that Bruce had a knife with him when he went upstairs to look for Mr. Jordan. Can you confirm this?
Why, yes, he did.
Did you happen to notice anyone else display a particular dislike towards the late Lamont Jordan?
Well, I think we all shared a dislike for the guy. But Sir Edward in particular, he expressed it more so than anyone. He and Lamont were having a big tizzy this afternoon over something. He was really steamed. And as he left, he said, "You haven't heard the last of me, Lamont, that I swear." And he went running out the room. It's kind of funny.
Well, I assume that the argument must have been about Miss Foster's future as a wife. Sir Edward had apparently appointed himself sole guardian and protector of her.
Yes, well, I think it's very obvious the way he drools all over her.
Is that it as far as you know?
Yes, I'm sorry I couldn't have been more help.
Not at all. Thank you for your cooperation.
Oh, it was my pleasure. Toodles.
I think I'm beginning to piece this together, Daniels. I think that Lamont Jordan invited Sophia Flanders, Chris Marshall, and Eileen Brooks here for the sole purpose of blackmail and extortion. It's the only conceivable reason why he invited 3 guests to his home whom he formerly didn't know. Mrs. Brooks said that she received a phone call from Mr. Jordan inviting her to come. And on top of that, she even professed that Lamont tried to blackmail her for his own selfish purposes.
Makes sense.
They obviously know more than that.
Do you want to question them again, sir?
Definitely, but not right now. Especially the other suspects who's left.
Just the ex-fiancée, Nancy Foster, and her mother, Agnes.
Send in the mother.
Yes, sir.
Mrs. Foster, how do you do? Please have a seat.
Thank you.
Now, I know that this must be very hard for you, but please try and bear with us, okay?
Okay.
Now, I assume that you're here for the wedding, right?
What wedding?
But there, Mrs. Foster, try and be strong.
I'm sorry. Oh, why did Lamont have to go and get himself killed? He was such a nice boy.
Sir, I think there's something
Not
you should
now,
know.
Daniels. What to tell you the truth, Mrs. Foster, everybody we've spoken to so far said that he was a no good pilot.
Lamont? Oh, no, he was a dear, sweet boy.
Sir! Well, Mrs. Foster, has your daughter, has Nancy ever expressed any reservations about marrying Mr. Jordan?
Oh, certainly not.
No,
Nancy loved Lamont.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm her mother and I know her better than anyone.
Well, what can you tell me about Sir Edward Montgomery?
He is a very dear old friend of the family.
And now, how long have you known him?
Many months.
In those months, has he ever expressed any reservations or any special interest in your daughter?
Certainly not. Well, perhaps as much as any other dear old friend of the family.
Well, now, did you know that he opposed the wedding between Nancy and Mr. Jordan?
No, I didn't.
Well, that's true.
Well, so what if it is? It does not mean that Edward murdered Lamont.
No, I realize that, Mrs. Foster. We're just examining all the options here.
Well, I think it's simply awful of you to try to pin this horrible crime on Edward. Edward may be many things, but one thing he is not is a murderer.
Well, now, I'm sorry. Now, please, forgive me if I've offended you. Mrs. Foster, I don't suppose that you had any reason to kill Mr. Jordan. There, Mrs. Foster. That'll be all for now. No more questions. Why don't you go in the kitchen and have a glass of milk or something? I think I'm getting the pieces together, Daniel. I think that Lamont Jordan invited Sophia Flanders, Chris Marshall, and Eileen Brooks here.
Yeah, that's all been established.
No, he didn't. Go tell everybody and tell them to come in here right now. I want to know their alibis.
That's what I've been trying to tell you, sir, because all this time...
Don't get them. A very interesting case. A wealthy man is murdered shortly before he's to be married to a young lady who just happened to be the target of affection of Sir Edward, a well-spoken gentleman who claims to be just friends with the ex-fiancée, who apparently never wanted to marry the victim in the first place. And what about the gossip columnist and the tennis pro? Two guests who didn't know Mr. Jordan before this week, who were apparently being blackmailed for one reason or another. And then we have the politician's wife, whose motive is so clear it's almost impossible to overlook her. And how about the two servants, Max and Bruce, obviously just observers, or are they? And what about the mother, who seems to have a lot to cry about? This case has so many twists and turns, it's hard to tell who's lying and who's telling the truth. But rest assured, my friends, I will find out who killed Lamont Jordan, or my name ain't St. Francis of Assisi. And when I find out, you'll be the first to know.
Hey, Max.
Peace off.
Max, it's that time again. Oh, hold on, I got another call. Hello, Jordan residence. Mr. Jordan? No, he can't come to the phone right now. Can I take a message? This weekend? No, I don't think he can make it. No, I don't think he can make it then either. Has he taken ill? I guess you can put it that way. Yes. Yes, I'll let him know you called, sir. Oh, he'd be thrilled. Excuse me? Oh, yes. No problem at all, sir. Yes. Yes. Bye-bye, sir. Are you still there? Bye, Mom. What you writing?
Nothing.
Oh, really?
Yes, it's none of your business anyway.
Okay.
Nancy, how can I put this? Whenever I see you, my heart skips a beat.
Oh, stop
My
it!
heart skips a beat. Jesus,
Give that back to me, you poxy pusslicker!
I know I wanted to a small, short time. Things must be hard with Lamont gone and all that. That's it? That's all you've read me?
Shut up, you! Give it back to me! Give it back!
Oh, straight to me, big man. I love it. Oh,
Well, it's nice to see that some things never change. So what is that? Well, if it isn't the intrepid detective and his ever diligent assistant, tell me, my dear detective, have we procured any intelligent leads as to the identity of our liberator?
Not yet.
Well,
But I think I know where to start looking.
really? Well, Please let us know when you found out anything. We're also very concerned.
Don't worry, I will.
Well, if you'll excuse me, gentlemen, I have some matters to attend to.
By all means, don't let us stop you.
Good day to you.
Bruce, have you seen Nancy?
Yes, I have, and thanks for asking.
I hate it when people do that. All right, Daniels, let's go over our suspect's alibis.
Sir. Okay. Mr. Edwards said he was upstairs in the laboratory. Mr. Marshall said he was applying massive quantities of deodorant.
Biggest.
Miss Flanders said she was curling her hair,
Curling the hand.
apparently. Mrs. Brooks was upstairs getting changed for dinner. Mrs. Foster and her daughter were here part of the time. Bruce was just about everywhere, and Max is upstairs looking for the other guests.
Those would have to be, without doubt, the phoniest alibis I've ever heard in my life. It's obvious someone is lying. It's almost impossible to find out who.
Well, do you want to question them again, sir?
Definitely, but not right now. My hunch is right. I think I know who the killer is.
Who?
When we find Nancy, I'll explain everything. Come on.
Sir, come here. Look. It's like one of those paintings, you know, like in the movies, you know, where the killer, like, looks through and can see everything? Look.
So? Come on, we're wasting our